what I do want back is the additional $200 a month that I was giving her that was actually supporting her boyfriend and her worthless lifestyle.
$300 a month is not enough to raise a child.
Yeah, but $300 a month is more than zero.
You're watching We the People with Gloria Allred. We're back with the case of Brandon Simmons, who is suing Tamara Lewis for what he contends were child support overpayments.
Now, what happened at some point?
Okay,
he signed that he was the father. He stipulated, in other words, meaning
stipulated that he was the father. We were going to do it. Now,
and he started paying child support, right?
Yeah, no, yeah, I took out an order. It was about like $300. Everyone knows $300 a month is not enough to raise a child. So
yeah, but $300 a month is more than zero.
Right, you're right.
And you took it, right?
Right, you're right.
You know, it was...
You're right.
Something.
Right, and you know, I come to find out it wasn't enough. So I did call him and ask him for additional money. So he insisted, like, okay, or I'm gonna make sure you get $500 a month. I'll send you the extra checks, you know, a month. So I can have a total of $500 a month. I was like, fine, you know, if this is what you want to do, we can do this. Now, it was fine until he found out that I have a guy living with me. Now he's also, all of a sudden, wants to stop paying, you know, for Josh, you know, for the well-being of Josh when we had a mutual agreement, because this is for the baby.
So your mutual agreement was, A, he might not be the father, and B, it's okay for you to be living with somebody else.
No, the mutual agreement was, A, that it's a possibility he wasn't the father and it's okay with it, and B, that he's gonna support us no matter what.
All right, let me find out about the no matter what part, Mr. Simmons. What was the breaking point for you when she was living with this other person?
When I came to the house and I saw the other person there, that I made them get a paternity test. Okay, because the guy was claiming that Josh is the son.
Oh,
and
I see.
Then they got the paternity test, and I found out that the child is not mine.
So what did you do at that point, sir?
I started to protest, and then she started saying, well, you can't tell me how to live my life and raise my child.
Right.
That's exactly how you were doing it.
Okay.
And then I said, well, why don't you have this new boyfriend of yours take care of the child support payments?
All right, but sir, what did you do?
She started to backpedal. Oh, well, you know, my boyfriend, he's unemployed right now.
That's not true.
Josh, that's not true?
No.
And then she's like, oh, you know, the boyfriend is unemployed, we really need the money. And that's when I had enough. That's when I realized the money, the additional $200 that I was giving her was going to support this deadbeat boyfriend of hers.
And coming up.
I didn't pull his arm, I didn't do anything. He willingly paid this check because he loves Josh, we both do. He willingly paid, I don't owe him anything, Your Honor.
You're watching We the People with Gloria Allred. We're back with the case of Brandon Simmons, who is suing Tamara Lewis for what he contends were child support overpayments.
Mr. Simmons, so what did you do? Did you go to court?
Yes,
did you seek to set aside the order of paternity, the order of child support?
Yes, I removed the court order, all right? But knowing that I signed the declaration of paternity, I did not order for her to pay me back the payments. But what I do want back is the additional $200 a month that I was giving her that was actually supporting her boyfriend and her worthless lifestyle. It's $1,000 of equivalent to 5 months. $1,000. That's what I want back. I cared for Josh.
Do you have evidence?
I have evidence.
You'd like the court to consider?
I have the checks. I got the paternity statement, the court orders. I have it all right there.
Thank you very much. Have you had an opportunity to see this, Ms. Lewis?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much. All right, so this is the court order for child support and $500 in current support. And then there is further documentation on the child support order and the paternity test, which says that the results indicate that the alleged father cannot be excluded as the biological father of the child. That's for the paternity test on Rick. So the reported probability of paternity, and then it goes on to talk about it. So obviously you're not the father according to this paternity test result. And then this is a copy of the check that you paid to Ms. Lewis, $500 a month, to prove that, in fact, you did pay her the $500 a month. So you were just seeking the return of the $200 a month. You don't want to ask for the return of the remainder that you paid. Ms. Lewis.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you have to say about all this?
Your Honor, it's evident there. You see the checks he was paying. I didn't pull his arm. I didn't do anything. He willingly paid this check because he loved Josh. We both do. He willingly paid. I don't owe him anything, Your Honor. I don't owe him anything.
All right, the court is ready to rule.
Judge Allred's verdict when We the People returns. You're watching We the People with Gloria Allred.
Lost in all of this is the child, Josh. Ms. Lewis, you do appear to care about your baby. Maybe you didn't really care about Mr. Simmons, but you do appear to care about your baby. And Mr. Simmons, you appear to care about Josh. And often being a father is much more than being related by blood to the child. And putting the child's interest first is important. And you could still do that if, of course, Ms. Lewis agreed, which it sounds as though she might agree. So you might want to consider still being a father to this child. That's totally up to you. It's not required by law, but it's something to think about because apparently you do have some kind of bond with this child. The bottom line is all of this would be better straightened out before court orders are made. I know you were relying on the defendant. I know you're trusting the defendant. I would say that most women who believe and assert that someone is the father are telling the truth. That is what they believe. And they're not trying to perpetrate a fraud or a con or play the person they think is the baby daddy. That's what they believe. Sometimes they're mistaken. And there are many reasons where they could be mistaken. In any event, what I would say at this point is it would be great to put the child first, but you're not required to do so. Sir, if I could order the return of the money that you have paid out of the goodness of your heart, I would. Unfortunately, you are in the wrong court, sir. This is a civil court. If you want to have issues of paternity or how much you should pay for child support, or if you shouldn't have to pay anything for child support per any court order, your remedy is to go back to the family law court and make your argument to the judge there. I have no power. I have no jurisdiction, it's called, which means I have no power because I'm not a family court judge to resolve this matter, and therefore I have to find judgment for the defendant.
Rise.
Judge Allred has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim is denied.
She's a fraud and she's a scam and she's gonna most likely do it again. So I'm disappointed on that aspect.
I love my son, and that's the bottom line of it.
This has been a production of Entertainment Studios.